Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso's youngest leader. Ibrahim Traore, just 34 years old, is now the leader of Burkina Faso. He is the youngest person in the world to hold this position. Born in Kara, Bondakwi, his rise to power reminds many of Thomas Sankara, who also became president at 34 in the 1980s. Before becoming a leader, Traore studied geology at the University of Ouagadougou. He then became a military captain. His path led him to lead a coup in September 2022. This coup removed the previous president, Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, after just 8 months. From geology student to military captain, a remarkable journey. Ibrahim Traore's rise to power in Burkina Faso is truly remarkable. Born on March 14, 1988, he started as a geology student at the University of Ouagadougou. He graduated with honors in 2006. However, his ambitions took him to the Burkinabe Armed Forces in 2009. He trained at the Georges Namono Military Academy. Traore quickly rose through the ranks. He became a lieutenant in 2014 and a captain in 2020. He also trained in Morocco and served with the UN in Mali. These experiences shaped his military skills. They prepared him for leading Burkina Faso at just 36 years old. In September 2022, Traore led a coup against the interim president, Damiba. He aimed to tackle the ongoing insurgency. With nearly 2 million displaced and a third of the country lost, he vows to restore civilian rule by July 2024. The path to power. September 2022 coup. Captain Ibrahim Traore led a coup on September 30, 2022, in Burkina Faso. He ousted Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Traore then became the interim president, leading the patriotic movement for safeguard and restoration. The coup came from frustration with Damiba's failure to stop the jihadist insurgency. During Damiba's time, attacks by armed groups rose by 23%. Over 60% of Burkina Faso was lost to the state. More than 2 million people were displaced, leading to a humanitarian crisis. Over 630,000 Burkinabe faced starvation. Traore, 34, is seen as a new leader like Thomas Sankara. Sankara also rose to power in 1983. Traore aims to tackle Burkina Faso's economic and foreign dependence issues. Ibrahim Traore, leading at 34 like Thomas Sankara. Ibrahim Traore is just 34 years old and is now Africa's youngest leader. He reminds many of Thomas Sankara, the former president of Burkina Faso. Traore's rise to power through a military coup and his anti-imperialist views have earned him the nickname Sankara Incarnate. Traore's path to leadership is truly inspiring. He studied geology before joining the army in 2009. He quickly became a key player in the fight against jihadists in Mali. His bravery and leadership have won him the admiration of his soldiers, who see him as willful and close to his men. While Traore is compared to Sankara, he has not yet introduced the wide-ranging reforms Sankara was known for. However, Burkina Faso security is in a bad state, with less than 60% of the country under government control. Traore has promised to tackle the jihadist threat within 3 months. This bold promise shows his commitment to making Burkina Faso safe and stable. Military experience and combat operations. Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso's youngest leader, has a strong military background. This background has shaped his approach to the country's security challenges. Traore first gained combat experience in the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali MINUSMA. He was recognized for his bravery during rebel attacks in the Tombouctou region. After Mali, Traore took part in counterinsurgency operations in northern Burkina Faso. His efforts included the Otapionu Offensive of 2019. His commitment and close rapport with troops have earned him respect. Traore's experience in the Mali War and the Sahel security crisis has informed his understanding of the region's complex security landscape. As Burkina Faso faces the Islamist insurgency, Traore's military background is crucial. However, the recent coup has raised concerns. It has diverted resources from addressing humanitarian and security crises, reshaping foreign relations, from France to Russia. President Ibrahim Traore has changed Burkina Faso's foreign ties. In February 2023, his government kicked out French forces. This move was due to growing anti-French feelings among the people. Now, Traore wants to get closer to Russia and Turkey. He went to the Russia-Africa Summit in July 2023. There, he pushed for African policies that are more independent. He also talked about joining forces with Mali and Guinea. This could make Burkina Faso the biggest country ruled by a military junta in the area. Burkina Faso wants to be more independent. It wants to find new ways to get economic and security help. This change is part of Traore's plan to reduce French influence. He wants to work more with Russia and Turkey, which are growing their presence in the Sahel. Traore's moves are getting a lot of attention worldwide. The world is watching how Burkina Faso's new alliances will affect stability and security. It's a big challenge for Traore as he tries to change the country's foreign relations, tackling insurgency and security challenges. Ibrahim Traore's leadership in Burkina Faso focuses on fighting the jihadist insurgency. The country faces regional instability, and Traore has called for a general mobilization to support the military. He aims to defeat the insurgents before holding elections. Burkina Faso has seen a rise in violence from militant Islamist groups. Since Traore took power, attacks have become more deadly. In 2023, over 8,600 people were killed, and the militants control more than 6,975 square kilometers. More than 2.1 million people have had to leave their homes. Now, 800,000 are trapped by the militants. Traore's government must restore security and stability in the face of these challenges. As Burkina Faso's youngest leader, Traore must tackle the insurgency's root causes. His success in counterterrorism will shape the nation's future. The ongoing threat from jihadists is a major challenge for the country. Economic reforms and mining sector development. Ibrahim Traore's leadership has brought big changes to Burkina Faso's economy, focusing on mining. In November 2023, the government greenlit the first gold refinery in the country. This move aims to control more of the gold value at home, cutting down on foreign reliance. In January 2024, Burkina Faso opened a mine tailings treatment plant. This plant uses local tech to extract minerals from waste, making mining more efficient and green. It shows Burkina Faso's dedication to managing resources well. In February 2024, Traore's team made a bold move. They suspended export permits for small-scale gold mining. This step fights against illegal trade and brings more openness to the gold market. It helps Burkina Faso's people get more from their gold resources. Pan-African vision and anti-imperial stance. President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso has made a big impact with his bold words and strong stance against imperialism. At the 2023 Russia-Africa Summit, he gave a passionate speech. He criticized African leaders for being too soft on imperial powers. He compared them to puppets and called for more self-sufficiency in food and economic freedom. Traore's vision is inspired by Thomas Sankara's revolutionary ideas. Traore's government is working hard to reduce Burkina Faso's dependence on foreign goods. They are focusing on boosting local industries and farming. This will help the country be more independent. They are also investing in education to prepare the next generation of leaders. This will help Burkina Faso grow and develop on its own terms. Traore's words remind many of Sankara's time in the 1980s. Sankara made big changes in farming and planting trees. Traore wants Burkina Faso and Africa to stand up for themselves, not follow others. Despite facing many challenges, Traore's vision and courage have caught the world's eye. His message of self-reliance and resistance to imperialism is inspiring many. Leadership challenges and future prospects. President Ibrahim Traore is facing tough times in Burkina Faso. The country is dealing with an ongoing insurgency, economic troubles, and demands for civilian rule. Traore's critics say he hasn't made enough changes, but his supporters see his strong stance against imperialism and focus on security as positives. The military junta, led by Traore, decided to stay in power for 5 more years in May 2024. This move has raised worries about democratic backsliding and military rule lasting too long. The future of Burkina Faso under Traore is unclear, with many wondering when the country will move towards a civilian government and solve its security and economic problems. Despite the challenges, Traore's commitment to Pan-Africanism, economic freedom, and social justice is still inspiring many. His vision for Africa's future has brought hope, even as the path ahead is uncertain. Here is a call to like our video and subscribe to the channel for more historical contents like this. Thank you.